What is going on? Good day to all of you guys that are tuning in. We are going to get right into it because there are quite a few things happening in our world. The secret sauce for today is aim high, work hard, and stay humble. Don't be a dick. It's really easy. That's it. Dow, S&P, and the NASDAQ are all back in the green after a needed correction, in my opinion. Is public pre-sale token something that you guys do? All of us change pump.fun and these meme coins that are released by the thousands. It is like shooting fish in a barrel. It is not easy. Maybe shooting fish in a barrel is easy. I will need to check that. Though I've never tried to shoot a fish in a barrel. So let's just keep moving forward. But there are token launches where you can buy pre-sale tokens. Is this something you guys have done? If you have, leave it in the comments. I will not read them. Next up, Bitcoin's price could surge if it breaks the... We're not even going to get to technicals yet. We're going to hold off on that. There are some marks that we want to see removed from the ceiling. If we can pierce some things, magic could happen. SAG and AFTRA, their video game actor strike is in full force as AI takes all of their jobs literally in the span of about 11 minutes. So, top NFT collections at the moment: Sorare, DogeZuki, Basie, Guild of Guardian Heroes, and CryptoPunks all making movement. Shiba Inu community, they are investing in a new token called MPEPE. That is what brought up my previous question. So if I do some whale watching and some wallet watching, a bunch of the Shiba community is kind of moving into this new token. I don't know if it is something noteworthy or not. We're going to dive into it in a bit. Vitalik Buterin, his Layer 2 post faces criticism. What happened? Did he cause the market to crash? The answer is no. We're going to find out what happened. And the Bank of Japan rate hikes, that is what set all of this off. It triggered crypto sell-offs. I believe that that is over for the moment. For a brief moment, I was contemplating, are there going to be ripple effects from that? But this market absorbs things so quickly. It really does. We have Ark Invest. They're buying Coinbase. They think it is an absolutely good buy. Open interest reduction as a bullish indicator when we are looking at Bitcoin. These are one of the things you have to think about. And X is going to be testing some new features. They're going to be hiding engagement. Text. What? All right, we're going to get into a super funny post about this as we bring chaos to clarity, noise to narrative. It is Tuesday. It is August 6th, and it is time for some rare bits. Sit down. But maybe you can stay standing because this is always a lagging indicator, but it is still interesting. The Crypto Green and Fear Index is a 17, down 9 degrees. Welcome to extreme fear. AKA time to get your gunpowder, put it in your shotgun, and start firing stuff at tokens and things you believe in long term. Bitcoin dominance, it has fallen on the 24 hours. ETH dominance, it is up. And let's just touch base on the numbers. Bitcoin dominance is currently 54.68%. Do we see that hit 60%? This is a standing question. I would love answers to it. I will not read them. Total crypto market cap is coming in at $199 trillion. It is down 8.9%. What caused the market crash? In the last 24 hours, Bitcoin has seen slight recovery after a significant sell-off. As I said, it was triggered by the Bank of Japan's recent rate hike. The BOJ shift from negative to positive interest rates. What happened there? So they were lending money and they decided, hey, all that money that we lent you, we're going to change the interest rate on it dramatically starting tomorrow. So most people, if they had loans out on things, they quickly turned those loans in, sold that product, got out of those assets so they could be liquid, so they would not be introduced to this new rate hike, which has compounded the market. But as I said, I believe for whatever reason, it has been absorbed. We are looking at the Japanese yen facing investors who engaged in carried trades, borrowing a low rate circumstances and investing in higher yield assets to liquidate their positions. This reminds me and is very reminiscent of why and when Bitcoin kind of came to pass, when we saw all of the same type of things happen in the housing market in the US around 2008. So before we get into more news, we are going to check some numbers for the nerds. How do we do that? Look at that. Hopefully this pulled up. Excuse me. Oh, I love coffee so much. If I'm not drinking IPA, I drink coffee all the time. How many cups of coffee do you guys drink in a day? And how many is healthy? And is 11 unhealthy? Okay, so we are looking at the crypto heat map, and it is, man, what a difference a day makes. Yesterday, it was fucking on fire. Today, it has settled down and begun to reclaim ground that we lost yesterday, making people much more comfortable. Currently, Bitcoin trading at 56,635. Again, this 56.5 number for Bitcoin is one of these. It was a ceiling. We got through it. Now we need to bounce off it, continue to move forward. We're not going to get into technicals today. Ethereum trading at $2,517. BNB 489. Solana 146. XRP 51, and Toncoin 580. Man, I have been looking at this Toncoin, trying to decipher, is this an all-time sale? I have not made a play on this. It is on my watch list. We are down 18% on the week, only 18% on the year. So this is a relatively, we're up 354% on the year, 22% down on the month, 13% down on the week. We've recaptured some ground. One of the things I do think, for instance, with Toncoin, so there are some coins when I see a big drop, I watch for a big rebound. That is very risky behavior. Toncoin, it did not have a huge fluctuation, and I think there is a ton of value there. So something that did not have a huge fluctuation and drop when the market collapsed, those things tend to boomerang and rebound quicker. So I'm really watching Toncoin. So let's just put a marker out. It is currently trading at $5.80 on August 6th. So we will just watch this. Again, I don't think we see absolutely parabolic movement in the market till September 23rd. That is my number to throw out there, just because if you have to put a number on it, that's what I want to do. And that's where I think activity really heats up. And I have stated my case for those reasons several times on the podcast. So we're not going to get into it. This is my short list of things that I think people should think about having in their bags. Super quick, and this is by no means an extensive list. These are things that I believe are not super risky, aka the yield and return might not be as high as some of the other meme coins. We also play those. You can tune into the Bullock stream I do live. But Solana, Toncoin, Avalanche, Near, Pepe, Bonk, Dog with Hat, Jupiter, Ondo, Pith, Brett, Mogcoin, Radium, and Mumu the Bull. I think these are holds for the good 6 months. I think we are going to see some really good movement in that. So if we look at the week, what is down the most on the week? We saw Dog with Hat go down the most on the week. I bought a little of that this morning because, and this is contrary to my previous case for Toncoin. Toncoin did not have the fluctuation. I think that rebounds and goes quite a bit higher. Dog with Hat, I think people panic sold that are new to the market. Dog with Hat is one of these coins that is universal to a bunch of the people that are new in the space. I think those people have a tendency to panic sell when you wake up and look at yesterday's heat map, which was just on fire. So I am expecting a nice little extra bounce back on that. And so that is why I picked some of it up. I had some friends pick up a bunch of MOG yesterday. I thought that was a great buy as well. So Dog with Hat, Mogcoin, Pepe. Somebody reached out on YouTube and asked me, why would I recommend these tokens when they're down so drastically? And this was yesterday when the market was absolutely blood red on fire. And my response is simple, is these communities are evolving, developing, and pursuing growth. And where are they doing that? They're doing it on the X platform. And that is future forward, where this ecosystem of coin traders and community members lives. I think one of the interesting things about the NFT space was it brought community together. The meme coin space is huge, right? the NFT community divided that up and gave us smaller clubs to get associated with each other. Whether that's passed for the moment, it's not for me to say. I do know that there are communities that develop around coins. People also ask me, how is that possible? Well, the easiest way to explain it is if you happen to get into one of these coins early and you spend $500 and 4 days later you have $10,000, you are a happy fucking camper and you are on the timeline saying, do this, do that, check this out, blah, 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 right? It's brilliant. That is how they develop and create community. So if you have a large number of these holders that over time get generationally wealthy, they are going to be family, not community, family. So these are wonderful things. We are at the cusp, at the beginning of this meme coin super cycle. It's going to be very interesting. So enjoy, tread lightly, gamble responsibly, and none of those things are actually possible to do in this space. So just know anything you put in may not come back out, but there are smart plays to make. Let's look at some of the top meme coins by market capitalization. We are looking at market cap. You can see that everything has risen on the hot list. On price, Brett is up 29% on the day, Floki up 10%, Bonk 14%, Pepe 14%, Moo 37%, Mog 26%. To the people that asked me yesterday, B, why are you recommending Mog on a day that's bright red? Because I believe in the community and I know it will come back. Mog proud. That's all I can say. It is making a return. We are going to continue to see these things happen. When we look at market cap for changes in the last 24 hours, we don't want to look at the small movers. Let's look at the big movers. So some of the new players, Lobo the Wolf Pup, 53% on the 24 hours. Hoppy, Brainlet, another fire token that is up 47% on the 24 hours. I was in and out on this yesterday, and this is interesting. This is going to be a fun token to check in on. So I think it has surpassed. No, it hasn't. So this is great. So the system I used to trade is called Bullex, and I set parameters in it, and these are non-emotional parameters. So I purchased some of the Brainlet. It went up, and it went down, and it hit my marker, and I got out of it. And then, yes, it went back up, and it almost passed my original buy to where I was getting super frustrated. But it has since fallen back down, and we're going to check and to see where it is. But this is one of those things where the other thing that I try not to do is double dip into tokens. If I've jumped in and completely jumped out, for me, that is a sign that I am going to continue to keep grazing the field and see what's new. So we might get into some of that today. We're going to check in on Polymarket because it has become an interesting news haven and a crypto driver in the space for me. So looking at Polymarket, some of the breaking news. We have Kamala announced VP pick on Tuesday. The answer is we know who her VP pick is. U.S. recession in 2024. Do you expect that to come? When is RFK Jr. going to drop out of the race? Will he drop out of the race? Where will his support go? Now, why would we want him to drop out of the race, especially if you are a fan of his? The idea is that if we have too many contestants in the race, it splits up the voting power. So if we know in the end it's going to come down to two players, that group that votes for the third candidate, whether out of independence and your rights to do so, or just not really grasping the full ecosystem, right? It would be much more interesting to see if this wave that Kennedy has, if it's not big enough to crash down and make a difference, if he puts his inertia and energy into one of these other clients, can that wave become the wave that wins? So these are the things. Will he pull out to do just that and then signify, I pledge my support to a candidate, either the right or the left? So we will see. Iran military response. This seems like it is incoming. There is shit brewing over there. Will Maduro be out before September? Holy moly. Trump and Kamala, will they agree to a debate on September 10th? Okay, so let's get into a little bit of stuff. So as you know, this market is extremely volatile. So this morning I woke up, I did some due diligence. I made a couple picks. I got into WIF and I looked at Bain again, and we'll see if I jumped in. I can't remember if I did. Possibly did. And if I did, it is going to explain why double dipping is absolutely terrible. So, okay. So we are going to, you know what, I'm on the 1 minute here. Let's go to the 30 minutes just so we can tell the story quicker and better. So I am going to back up over here. So as you can see with this absolutely spectacular platform that Bullex supplies, we see where the dev bought immediately after the dev sold. A lot of times, if there's nobody else involved, it comes crashing down. There were other people involved. When the dev is out, the community can do what they want. They decided to run with this. So they ran. So I made a purchase right around here. Now, normally, I would just ride this out, right? But it went up and hit one of my sell orders. So I was actually able to take profit right up here, which if I was watching this chart, I never would have, I was like, higher, go higher. And I would not have sold. But I have some non-emotional things set up as parameters. So I was outside and I got a notice on Telegram saying, hey, we just executed your order. And I was like, this is brilliant. So we continue to move into the day. Okay, so let's see how this progresses. So, and what I think this is it did not trigger a full sale of all of my stuff. So as we're moving along, I see it begin to dip a bit more. So I bought, and Bullex is so smart. It dropped past my line, sold. I may have even bought again, and it's literally like you are an idiot. So it has never passed my average buy line. So I'm done with this, right? Bain, it's been fun, it's been real, but I'm out. And there will be people that are going to be on the timeline and continue to push this. And this morning, as you can see, I got back into this because I want this to be interesting, but it's not. So we are going to turn the page on that. So next up, WIF. What did we get into? So let's see where WIF is at the moment. So WIF. And why did I buy WIF? Because I explained it earlier. We just had this wicked drop in here, which I just think was precipitous of people not understanding the market and panicking and the overall market being down. So if we spin up and look at this, so we are going to switch now from the 30-minute to the 1 minute to give us a little more definition, and we are going to hit auto so we get to see what's going on. So now we can see where I made my buy, and I just saw this build up, and I figured we are going to see market movement. So I bought in. My average price, as you can see here, is at $1.38 billion. So what's great about this is if we go down, my sell orders are already down there. As I would need to refresh this page, which I don't want to do it at the moment, but all of my sell orders going up are there as well. So if we happen to get lucky and it hits these marks, I'm just going to liquidate a bit to be smart. Why do you do that? Because you don't round trip stuff. How many of us do that? Don't let yourself do it ever again. Put stop losses in. It's not hard. Hop into the stream, bullex.io/beat. Get yourself an account. Put 1 Solana in. Let's see what we can do with it. So we are going to see what is up next. Now, I'm continuing to do this analytic as we go through way up to elections, just seeing if there's a correlation between who Polymarket believes will be president and the price of Bitcoin. This morning, Bitcoin was ringing the bell at $55,080. 52% think Trump will be president. 45% see Kamala as president. And let's look a bit deeper into this number. And that number is Kamala has gone up 2 percentage points in the last day as far as the bettors. Is this bringing the price down? Because she still has yet to make a stance on her policy on crypto. So when we see Trump's percentage number go to 53 and increase by a point, do we see the Bitcoin price go up? So trust me, this is going to be fun to watch. This is not the driver, but it will one will infer on the other in an interesting way. Okay, on this day in history, 1958, American merchant. This joker's name was Cyrus Westfield. What did he do? He succeeded in completing the first transatlantic cable. So you kids that like only know space cell phones, we used to have to talk on a phone connected to a cord to the wall. And you have to dial with buttons 1, 9, and wait for it to come. This is before push buttons. This MFer is the guy who's like, hey, I need to talk to my girl. She's in France and I'm in New York and it's not cool, so I'm gonna fucking call her. And the whole idea came from the telephone game, which is 2 Dixie cups with a taut string in between. So yes, we put some electricity and some other shit into it, but basically that's what we are working with. He's the guy that strapped it down. He put a diving suit in and swam the ocean by himself. He was bit by 3 sharks along the way, but he survived. I think he also has a whiskey company. Don't quote me on that. Don't quote me on any of this. But Cyrus, we are glad that you just went after shit the way you did. That's actually why we are on Mars now. Now, all right. I used to live in Hollywood, mess around, and look at these guys. They are striking the pavement. They are causing a ruckus, probably out in front of Starbucks. People are super pissed. And why are they carrying these signs? Why are they on strike? Because AI is coming and has already effectively taken their jobs. Who are they striking against? Do you think the AI cares? Do you know how much shit I talk into AI? Alexa, I hate you. She won't even respond to me because she's smart. Do you think AI gives a shit that you're an emotional baby? No. So you better figure out another line of work because it is not looking good for your future. Next up in the crypto world, you know what? I want to do one other story. Did I find it? You know what? Let's do it. So the top NFT collections that are running around this week, as I said, we include Sorare, DogeZuki, Bored Ape Yacht Club, blah, blah, blah. There's some fun shit going on in Solana. I'm not going to get into any stuff, but Solana makes me smile. And while I have shifted gears to meme coins because we're in a super cycle, I still mess around with the NFTs because they're a blast. But it does seem to be more of a niche market, kind of like the people that understand Klingon, right? Like it's a small group of people. But there's people that could talk to each other in the Klingon language. They have listened to every single Star Trek and devised the language, and it's out there. And if you know it, you are probably into NFTs as well. So go check out Magic Eden. That's one of the other collections. This is one of the DogeZukis. And I was like, you know what? The art's actually not bad. I mean, it's pure theft from so many things and just an iteration on something that may or may not have worked long term. But it's interesting to see stuff take off. Go Doge, go Doge, go Doge. Now, I talked to you guys about the Shiba Inu community and how I'm wallet watching and a bunch of these bozos are buying this MPepe. It's a pre-sale live now. And then I started thinking like, all those guys what are they doing with Shiba? Why would I follow them into another crazy token? But we're talking numbers, right? Like I don't know, a lot of people. So it is noteworthy. Is it going to move the dial? And it brought my question to the table that we chase pumped out vision and pumped out fun and meme coins and token launches hidden by people we don't even know in shady DMs and all this shit. Like this is a public out in front sale. They've raised fucking, I don't know. What are they at? Like $500,000 now for stage 2. So they've completed stage 1, which is even cheaper. These things tier out. What's weird about it and why I'm always hesitant is because these to me could be a scam as well, right? So tread lightly with your idea, but do leave me a comment that I'm not going to read it. No, but other people might read it and interact, and that might set off a bell that I won't read it. But if you guys have a dialogue on my behalf, that would be cool, right? And I go through this stuff in my Substack. If you don't subscribe, you're a boob. Vitalik Buterin, he posts stuff on his ETH layer 2, his ups and his downs, his mixology, his scientific iterations on his masterpiece. People are pissed. People are happy. ETH drops 12% in 24 hours. It goes back up. They say it's terrible timing for all this iteration. He doesn't care. It sells off. He gets tokens in his wallet from some crazy meme coin he decides to sell, makes a couple $100,000 for doing absolutely nothing. Market goes crazy. They hate him. They love him. He's got a new girlfriend. So that's really the important thing at the moment. So Vitalik, I hope you are enjoying. Just enjoy the moments, dude, as I know you do. But really, just take some time and slow it down, especially if you are enjoying your new partner. I think that is wonderful. Congratulations to you both. You know what? And I think we've talked about it a couple times. We know that the Bank of Japan has just gone through a horse shit of a time. Their problems caused our problems. They caused liquidations across the board. They caused a literal shit show. So here's something we need to think about. I mentioned earlier the real estate crash of 2008 and 2009, which was right around the time Bitcoin emerged. Was it a solution to that problem? Yes. Could we have averted that problem utilizing Bitcoin? Yes. All those are, Bitcoin was almost a proof of concept stating and showing how broken our financial ecosystem was, and Bitcoin is the only true solution. Now, we saw the housing market of 2008 and 9 go, what are we looking at for the commercial real estate market in the United States and everywhere else as we readjust to not only no people working in offices physically anymore, now we're going to add on top of that, how much of that job force that no longer needs to go to a physical office can now be replaced by AI technology? A year? 2 years? In 5 years? How many of us are indispensable humans? Think about that, because the list is going to become shorter and shorter. Think about services that you will want as a human. I think about my mother. She does not want to deal with AI, but it is getting better. But sometimes she wants to deal with a human, and there is a difference. There is a difference between a CNC produced good and a handcrafted sculpture. One may have imperfections as an artist creates something. And in my view, those imperfections will become sought after in the future as AI and computers begin to make perfect forms and shapes and creations. That's not always the answer. It doesn't, the human touch is, I don't know. We have to figure out, will that carry value as things become more and more digital? This is a question I think people should begin wrestling with. If your kids are in school, what should they be studying, right? And here's one super quick example. If AI or ChatGPT can now pass the New York State bar exam, that's a great attorney, right? Now, if it can already do that, what happens 6 months, a year from now when they create a ChatGPT just for legal? Now, if you happen to be somebody that lives in Bushwick and you stab somebody and it wasn't your fault, but it looks really bad, and you're an immigrant and you get caught by the police and now you are looking at murder charges, which will put you away for life. You have no money. You do not speak English very well. The system has the opportunity and ability to take advantage of you. Currently, if you are in that situation, they will provide you a public defender assigned by the state. Trust me, that public defender doesn't know you. They don't care about you. They have a crazy workload. The caseload is immense, and you are a number on a docket to them. They might not even be that good at their job, which is why they're a public defender. They're either working their ranks up or they've leveled out at that office and that's their job now. Now, that still costs the state an enormous amount of money to hire that public defender for you. You have another option. You can choose option B. Would you like to have ChatGPT AI be your attorney that knows every single law precedent that has ever been put into existence? And yes, I understand it tells lies, all that shit. Get off my back. Let me make a point. If you are in this situation and if you have the opportunity between a human wreck and AI that can pass the bar exam, that is not going to be late, that will know all of these precedents, you will be able to argue on your behalf. I am 100% of the time going to choose the AI attorney. Does this happen in the next 3 years? To say this doesn't happen is absurd. Let's even back up. Let's look at LegalZoom, which has removed so many of the attorney opportunities that existed just by making it available online and removing the middleman and showing the equations as they need to be presented to state by state. AI is going to do all that in an instant, which LegalZoom already does that. These changes are coming. Radiation technicians that look at x-rays, how many days do you have left, right, at that job? Police officers in New York City walking the beat, they have robots coming that are going to be effective. They are going to find a way to create and stop what is happening there. And they're going to be able to do it safely and out of harm's way. And in turn, it will be cheaper. There will be no PTSD on those machines when they go into battle zones, right? No cost on human interaction at all. The machines are coming. It is scary. It's crazy. All right, so next up, we have Giga Chad, Cathie Wood. She has decided to, during this market dip, when blood is in the street, she goes to buy. She bought about $17.8 million worth of Coinbase. She also holds Tesla, Amazon, Meta. So nobody is going to shake her from the tree. She's absolutely bomber. We have Credible Crypto. He sees a silver lining in all of this Bitcoin activity. He's noting a recent correction, reduction in open interest as super bullish signals, saying he thinks we're going to go up. Though he does say, and we have to keep this on the watch, we have to watch to see if the death cross approaches. Nobody wants that to happen. There we have it. We are close, but we are not there yet. And this is awesome. Okay, so on the social media front, X is, they're changing they're growing, they're iterating, and people like stuff, they don't like stuff. It is what it is. Like, what can you do, right? But Billy Marcus, the Dogecoin creator, he said, hey, Elon, this is a great idea. We should also remove all avatars and usernames and any interactions with anything. Just have blobs of text floating around. So that was the best comment that I saw in response to Elon Musk deciding to remove likes, shares, smiles, forwards, repeats, replies, all of that, messaging, direct messaging. It is all going to be gone. I think it's just going to be Mario TV is what X is getting to. So it is all going to be a good thing. And finally, Bitcoin's price, we could potentially surge. We have to break. Now it's like the 50, like the marks keep going up. We just want positive momentum. If we do get into these zones, right? I am still of the belief that we crab walk sideways until toward the end of September. And my date is September 23rd for that prediction because I am picking a date. I do like us to say above certain numbers, it will propel growth in so many of the other things. When Bitcoin is up, it is the bellwether or the canary in the coal mine that lets other coins know it's okay for movement. When there's more liquidity in that ecosystem, like this volatility, it is the lifeblood of our ecosystem. It is never a bad thing. The panic is the bad thing. That is probably the only thing that we have to watch. So keep that in mind. We are watching for triggers along the way. If you guys are still craving crypto clarity, please subscribe to my Substack today. Warning, rare bits, it may cause hodling.